Two. Alright, what is good, you guys? It is your boy, the Dragon of the Night, Lamarjima, and we back for another video, and we're doing a little bit something different today. For starters, we joined by, in this neck of the woods on YouTube, a legend, an OG of this game. I am here to present a man who does not need an introduction. PJ, go ahead, the floor is yours.
What an introduction. It made me feel like I'm someone special. It's almost as like Paul Heyman introducing Roman Reigns or Nick Aldis introducing Roman Reigns to the ring. Yeah, it's my pleasure.
Probably one of the few that I still watch, so yeah, man, it's pretty cool.
That's cool. Or any other group for that matter, if I share an opinion, a random person will post a comment saying that, hey, aren't you that guy that uploads or used to upload SmackDown vs. Raw series or like WWE walkthroughs? And I'm like, yep, that would be me. I'm glad you enjoyed watching my videos back in the day. And they always come back saying like, dude, your videos were absolute best, and I had a really great time watching you when I was growing up, etc. So it's always cool to hear those types of comments in the most weirdest places.
Oh yeah.
All right, what are we going to discuss?
A few things that I feel like would be interesting to get out there and see, not only your opinions, PJ, but the people out there, see what they think. And that first thing being that CM Punk's injury. Now, it's something that I feel like in the finer things is being glossed over just for the fact that people are just immediately feeling bad for him. Last night, and pretty much what will lead up to Elimination Chamber and everything to go to WrestleMania, probably has a lot to do with him, his injury. So what I'm asking you first to start this conversation here, PJ, is how much do you really think the significance of CM Punk's injury has to do with a lot of things moving forward, as far as, you know, we won't say exactly, but that certain thing that happened last night has a lot of, you know, arrows pointing towards that. But as far as also another thing we'll be talking about after this is Seth Rollins' proposal to Cody Rhodes. Do you think that CM Punk's injury might have a lot to do with everything that we've been seeing?
I honestly don't know that answer, because there's two ways you can discuss this topic, and I still like to know one of the answers. I want to know what were the plans prior to CM Punk's injury. I want to know if Cody Rhodes was going to win the Rumble, who was he going to face? And had CM Punk was going to be the runner-up for Royal Rumble, was he going to face Seth Rollins? Had that been like the main scenario for our main event matches at WrestleMania, maybe Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson wasn't going to participate. But then again, why did he even show up back in January? I feel like that was the plan all along for the longest time ever. I don't know why the Rock waited until joining TKO. And you know, the news is coming out today that he was just trying to make money, and that was apparently the best decision that he could have made for the company itself. Even though that sounds pretty bad, I just don't know how to actually answer that. Because I would like to see CM Punk versus Rollins night one, taking it there as their main event, and then Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. But I'm content with what's happening right now. Everybody's confused, and I am confused as well, as far as why did Cody even point at the sign, and why did he point at Roman Reigns, saying that he's going to finish the story, or like, you know, you're the one, I'm facing you. And then all of a sudden the narrative changed. I feel like just within the last few days, The Rock just simply made a decision, or the TKO group the board of directors, they just sat down and be like, hey, this is what's going to draw more money, which we all know that. It's going to get more eyes on the product. I mean, what's happening next week? Oh, you know, we're going to do a press conference on Thursday in Las Vegas. What else is happening next weekend? Oh, that's right, Super Bowl's happening. Okay, so is the press, are you guys going to be there that weekend? Oh, okay, what are you guys doing on Thursday? Okay, yeah, we'll see you Thursday. So I feel like it's one of those things, you know, and they got what they wanted last night. You know, The Rock showed up, he had a face-off. And I know we're talking about CM Punk right now, but this has like an effect. It has reached out to these outer limbs of, you know, what the other matches are happening because of the injuries, so to speak. And yeah, because of, you know, The Rock showing up, yeah, the news is blowing up. Yeah, people are talking about this match. The problem is that, yeah, we want to see this match. We've been wanting to see this match forever. The only thing is that it sucks because everybody has been wanting Cody to finish the story. We just want the story to be finished. That's what we've been ready for this moment for the longest time ever. And all of a sudden, it feels like a kick in the gut. Blue balls, if I can say that. You know, there's so many things you can add on to that. But yeah, man, CM Punk's injury, I think it has an effect to it. I feel like he got injured and The Rock stepped in and said, hey, you know, we need to boost something since we got a lot of injuries. Maybe I can step in and have a match for you guys. And this is what I want to do, but I want to be on the board first. So he got locked in, and then all of a sudden he took that narrative in control. Okay, but I'm done with that talk. I don't know what you think about CM Punk's injury, if you want to add on to that.
Pretty much, no. I agree with pretty much everything you said. I'm torn as well as you. But honestly, in my heart of hearts and my gut is telling me that Rock eventually will get to him. I'll give you my opinions once we talk about that. But as far as Cody, I think Cody finishing the story was always the plan. Cody going back to back, I think, was in the cards. But I think the moment CM Punk walked in that door, came out in Survivor Series how he did, I think that's when they started kind of having their different opinions. Because
second thoughts.
Because if you remember back, way back, even before he got signed, when he was still kind of with the company, with AEW, there was articles and speculation going around that he said that if he did return, he'd want to return for a Royal Rumble, like that being his first match in. And sure enough, Punk, as soon as Punk come back, he comes around Royal Rumble season. Perfect time for a guy like him to return, but he returns in his hometown in Chicago the perfect way. But the way he does it, we don't see it. He's staring. You got Rollins on the other side staring him down, flipping him off, doing all this stuff. They made a big deal out of this. Like, they tried to make a big deal out of Punk and Rollins, like more so out of like making it real, like trying to make it seem real, whether or not it was or not. They made a big deal out of it. And same with Drew McIntyre. This is a little bit of seeds being planted here. They had McIntyre storm out, but to me, it looked like just McIntyre reacting to a very upsetting loss. But people tried to, in WWE's camps, stir that as he was mad about Punk returning because he knew he would know. And so with that is, I think when Punk got in here, they wanted the big money match of Rollins versus Punk, and the only reason I say that is because, again, with Triple H in charge, Triple H would want to see his guy Rollins with the world title feud into Mania against CM Punk, his OG rival, where whether or not they let Punk win, I think they would have Punk lose in the end, ultimately, as in, if he beat Rollins, I think Damian Priest would cash in. If Rollins beat him, whether or not Damien cashes in, Triple H writes in a way where CM Punk, yeah, he gives him what he wants, a main event and maybe a title, but he's gonna write him to get fucked over in some way, because it's a win-win for him. But here's the thing, that's the problem with WWE right now, and that's why when I tell you that I've been watching it, but I don't support it as much as I used to, because I'm transparent as far as I don't care about it being, I used to love this since I was a kid. I will judge something and critique something just how for what it is. WWE is great as far as how production and presentation and star power, but the problem is that with all that being said, when you have all these different guys who pretty much do the same thing in certain ways, at the end of the day, it makes it hard for other people to get screen time and get attention. So Drew McIntyre, the problem with him is that he is not going to get much screen time at that point before all this, because there's the way that WWE is going at right now with TKO is like the American Saudis as far as how they're looking at things. They think
moneymaker.
They want all the legends. They're pushing legends right now, and that's prominent. Cena's gonna be back too. You'll see. Elimination Chamber around Chamber season, you're gonna see Cena coming back soon. So the point with that is like you look at this and it's like, it's the same thing with Bray Wyatt, rest his soul. When he first came back, and you guys may not remember this, but I discussed this in the server with a few people, or just in general. I said, I think AEW at that point in time, not in terms of production and presentation and any of that, but in terms of freedom and flexibility, and as far as the attention factor, if Bray Wyatt went to AEW, he would have been pushed as the main top guy, because you have to. There's no one in AEW besides the Moxleys, the Danielsons, the Punks at the time, the Omegas. There's not many guys over there that you could say that he would have been better than, that they, as far as his promos, his character work, all of that in AEW with no strings attached, where he's just, go ahead, there's no harness on him, because there's an interview Triple H even says, yeah, he's a great talent, but his mind is crazy. He needs a harness, and we harness him. He's great. And it's like, dude,
he sounds just like him.
That's just fucked. When you look at it, and I get it, but if he went there, he would have had no worries, as far as he would have had his whole character to himself. In WWE, you have those things that I just mentioned. But you also have the thing of, there's too many stars. At the time of Bray Wyatt's debut and return, we had Dexter Lumis going around being a weirdo, teleporting around, doing all that shit. There was all those hype, like, there was even to the point where when he had his glove sticking out during the one episode of Raw, everyone thought it was Bray Wyatt. Yeah. That's a problem right away. When you have a guy on your show pretty much being that scary Michael Myers teleporty character that is pretty much he's gonna end up trying to showcase, it fucks him over, and that's why he had to come back and do this weird ass Uncle Howdy shit, because it's him talking to himself and all that weird shit. It ends up, it's not even him, it's an actual separate being. It's like, the point here is that the placement of people, it's not gonna work because of how many stars that WWE has. And it's the same reason why Drew McIntyre fuck Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, yes, he's great, but he's downplayed a lot of people, including McIntyre, who got close to beating Roman because he said he's the closest. McIntyre, to me, had the most viable and was the closest, other than Cody being built slowly, like we know Cody Rhodes. But McIntyre, as far as in WWE grinding, he was in his hometown and he had everything lined up, and he got hoed the same way Cody Rhodes did. But the point here is that after all of that, he got fed the Karrion Kross, and then we didn't see much from him after that. Until now, he's gotten the heel. He's gotten more of the heel stuff, and then when he hurt Sami Zayn and stuff. But the point with this is just that it's all about timing, and yeah, like you said, with injuries, that's gonna have a lot to play with. You can start off with what you think on the proposal.
On SmackDown, Roman Reigns belittled his title. He said that it was the loser's bracket title.
He has to. What did Triple H used to do when he was champion?
I agree.
I mean, not saying like, oh, it's not fucked up how he did it, but he's a heel. He gets to do that. That's what he gets paid to do. But go on.
I agree. It's just that Rollins has only held the title for 200 and something days, whereas Roman Reigns is he is like up in the space, man. He's like on the moon, and Rollins is just like he's just hiking on top of like maybe 5,000 feet elevation. I mean, that's just a comparison right there. That's what I'm trying to say. He hasn't built up that reputation for that title yet. He's not there yet. And Roman Reigns, he states clear facts. He fired shots at him. But what I'm saying is that if Rollins doesn't say anything back this upcoming Monday Night Raw, oh my God, it's gonna look so bad on Seth Rollins. He has to pop back at Roman Reigns somehow. I mean, sure, he took this huge fact and said he basically said that you only compete every now and then Roman Reigns clapped back as saying, but yeah, bitch, I'll make 10 times more money than you do in one night compared to what he usually makes.
He's proclaiming himself as the new Brock. This is as well. That was another guy.
Well, that is a fact, though. It is a fact. What I'm saying is that Seth Rollins has to pop back on Monday Night Raw. He has to say something, because if he doesn't say anything, it's gonna look bad, man. It's gonna look bad for all of the other people who are competing for that title. I mean, if that is really their true blue collar belt, what he calls it, loser bracket, I mean, those guys, they're gonna have to step up their game.
Well, who knows?
And eventually make their way up, be bigger superstars, because Roman Reigns, he's gonna retire. That's what this game is all about. It's about gaining popularity, putting asses in seats in the bigger stadiums, and make more money. That's what this game is all about.
What are we thinking about Austin Theory versus Kevin Owens last night?
I thought it was a pretty cool match. The whole SmackDown was really good. I don't understand who's gonna come after Logan Paul, because Logan Paul was clearly involved with that matchup, still with Kevin Owens, because he was at the commentary table while he faced Austin Theory. And of course, he kind of cheated his way, showing that this is how it's done. He grabbed the knucks and he tucked it in and won the match. And the whole promo itself, that was pretty good. But did you see where Nick Aldis is supposed to present with his opponent for the next pay-per-view?
I want to say it would have been what's his name? It was gonna be Andrade, but I don't know. Maybe Ricochet. I don't know, because my whole thing with this is that I really feel like the United States Championship needs to be defended. And obviously I think it's gonna be the IC Championship. That's definitely gonna be in the Elimination Chamber. But the United States Championship definitely should be in the Elimination Chamber as well. And I think that's a cop-out to be able to have Kevin Owens in the match, because I'm pretty sure the way that he kept stressing it is that he can't be in a singles match against him. Like, he'll never have a shot at this title against me one-on-one or whatever. So, like, they can be like, Nick Aldis could be like, you're right, Logan, but Elimination Chamber is chaos, and we want Kevin Owens in there because he screams chaos, and technically it's not a one-on-one match. And then they'll do some shit like that. He'll be in the Elimination Chamber match with, you know, Austin Theory, Grayson Waller, and whoever else, Sami Zayn, whoever you want. The point here is that I think it should be pushed to the chamber, and it shouldn't be another one-on-one match, I think, unless it's on a SmackDown or something like that. In that case, I can predict like a Humberto or some guy like that, a mid-card guy. So
it's Berto now, not Humberto.
It's just Berto Del Rio.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Regarding that, I never thought that I would actually think about that it would be in a chamber match for the IC championship, or US championship for that matter.
I only say that because think about it. This year, other than maybe the women's championship, how else are they going to incorporate the Elimination Chamber? Seth Rollins ain't competing, but there's so many different possibilities right now. But the main thing I wanted to touch on with this is if we see a scenario where Kevin Owens wins the United States Championship, because I ultimately think that's what they're doing, and I think I would be on board with it. First of all, before I get into that, what do you think about that? If they were to give the United States Championship to Kevin Owens, do you think it'd be good or bad?
I think it'll be good. I think it'll be very good. Kevin Owens has done nothing but good for the company ever since he signed that 3-year contract for I don't know how many millions of bucks. He has had not a main event. Yeah, I guess you can call that main event match with Stone Cold Steve Austin. The same Mania that I attended, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. I'm so glad that I got to be a part of that Mania where Stone Cold had his one final match. And not only that, I mean, look what he's done last year. He was in a main event with Roman Reigns. I mean, and the pop that they received with the Bloodline storyline. And then, of course, taking on the Usos to win the Tag Team Championship. I mean, what a storyline that they showcased. So, yeah, I think KO is a really good decision. They can build it up. And he's good at what he does. I have no doubt and whatsoever that they can totally take it to a new height
now
somehow.
To lead up with that, now we're talking about where, you know, right now we're in a time where our major champions aren't around right now. They're hurt or, you know, just chilling at home on the couch. So you know, it's a time where we need to push our minor, or I mean not our minor, but our mid-card championships as major championships again. So we already have that with Gunther. And this is why I'm saying with Logan Paul, not to say that he's not good or anything like that. He's showcased his talents already. The problem here is that when you're talking about putting asses in the seats outside of little kids, we're talking about the marquee matchups, and we're talking about just elevating a championship. He's not going to do that anytime soon. So he's already showcased he can become a champion. I think that's enough for him, and unless they want to push him somewhere else as far as like another feud. But the point is that with a guy like Kevin Owens, this leads to my next question is, if you give a guy like Kevin Owens a mid-card championship, I think he will, and this is why I'm asking this. Do you think that he could be the next John Cena in the regard of making the United States Championship or just a mid-card championship relevant again, in the sense of literally heartbeat for beat, like just bar for bar, do what John Cena did with the championship, and, you know, do open challenges, do, you know, put on 5-star match after 5-star match, even with nobodies. So, like, my point here is, if you give Kevin Owens a championship, which is, like I said, I just think this is the perfect, and based off how they're doing it, I think this is the direction they're going. Do you see him elevating that title just as great as, or, you know, as far as where we're at now in wrestling? Obviously, that was a different time, but do you think he could do what John Cena did with the United States Championship?
I think so. I don't know whether if they're gonna be able to do that, or they're wanting to do that or not. I don't know. You seem like you're asking me this question as almost as like that's the direction that they're going into. Is that where Logan Paul is gonna drop the title to Kevin Owens, where Kevin Owens is gonna be handed this U.S. Championship, where he's gonna have to try to make this title relevant again, which it needs to happen. Because Gunther has done that for the IC Championship, and we need the same thing to be done for US Championship, because for the past year we've seen it drop by the likes of Rey Mysterio, or being handed to Rey Mysterio first of all, because they thought that Austin Theory wasn't fit,
which he was a better champion, but.
Yeah, I just don't know why they took it away, you know? I don't
like him.
Still
he was a Vince guy. They wanted you to forget everything Vince did. Like, it's petty, but business. But,
yeah, I can see that. I can see that Kevin Owens can definitely carry the U.S. Championship weight on his shoulders and make the title more prestigious. It's just that they got to put a lot of faith in him. They just have to give him opportunities and build up storylines and do what they do best. You know?
Yep.
I also heard that Logan Paul's willing to do a full-time run.
The topic here is something I thought and I saw, you know, for a while now, but also just kind of in the news today as well, more frequently. It is... I ain't saying his first name because I ain't butchering it. I know I won't butcher his last name, but it is Okada in talks with not only WWE and AEW. This question here.
It's saying that it's believed that he's leaning more towards one company in particular, which is WWE bound. So we'll see. We'll see what happens in the next upcoming few days. We can discuss again about this topic.
What do you think is more realistic right now?
WWE.
Why do you say that?
So with AEW, I know Tony Khan has money and he needs more people. Well, honestly, he needs to work on more storylines. He just needs to have right booking.
Exactly.
But I can't say anything with what's transpiring right now with WWE at the very moment, because the injuries are haunting them right now, and the storylines are being altered in WWE as well. So, but true. I think he should join WWE instead.
Yeah, and I say realistically, at first I feel like for the money and the way things go with those talent, they always end up going with AEW because of the money, and then because they can still go and like, here's why I think realistically he goes to AEW. If he goes and signs with AEW, it's not only the money, it's the fact that he's getting paid by AEW and he can still go back to New Japan. Stuff like that. That's how the contract works in AEW. As far as I know, WWE is still not flexible with where that you could just be an independent contract and go where you want as you please.
That's a great point, and I would like to add something to that. There are superstars or wrestlers who don't care about story-driven matches or like wrestling, vice versa. Some people are just there, they're okay to participate and just make enough money where they're content. They can just pay their bills and just be happy, right? But you've got a pretty good point with AEW, with him joining AEW. hey, he can just be that
that's the
person
thing.
who shows up and wrestle for Tony Khan and just be content by it. He doesn't care about the storylines as much. What WWE is most, likable to do.
It would play out. So you bring Okada in and you build up him versus Shinsuke, because that's really what they're gonna do. For Mania, that's because that's an easy match to book for Mania right now, just as a spot, because people will go watch that, and that's a match everyone wants to see. Now, I think because WWE is notorious for this, they like to, I won't say steal, but they take if they take somebody from a certain company or whatever, just after being somewhere or whatever, they're notorious for copying or reusing other ideas. So what I mean with that is, I feel like they could pull like a Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley storyline with them, where they fight it out at Mania, and it's like, oh, they're talking Japanese or whatever. They're like, you make me bleed or whatever, and I will respect you again. And Okada's like the baby face or some shit going into it, and like,
oh yeah,
they hype it up that way. And then after the match, there's like a showing of love for between them or something, and then going on to the next night on Monday Night Raw, they stir some shit up against another big tag team or something like that, and it ends up being like a Blackpool Combat Club, except Japanese style shit, whatever you want to call it. And hell, who knows, maybe fucking even William Regal will come out and be the fucking manager again, as a haha to AEW. The point is, I think that could be what they could do with him, is just have him come in and feud with Shinsuke in Mania, because that'd be a hell of a match to have on the card, be over a celebrity match to me. But like, have them on the card, and then hype up into the new year the next night, them going after a top team, solidifying there in the tag division, and start bigging them up that way. Because I say that because, again, in WWE, and this is why I think a guy like him wouldn't want to go there, it's an ego thing. He's not going to get much screen time. He will, but you look at Shinsuke now, yeah, if he goes to NXT, he might, but realistically, do you want to be on NXT? Don't you want to be, if you're going to WWE, don't you want to be on the main roster, especially if you've been booked as the main guy? So it all depends, like you said, on his mindset.
It all depends on him.
But yeah, I think that would be a cool way that they could bring him in. But
yeah,
the cliff notes, and then the next two I feel like are the big things. But so here, Nick Aldis snagging 3 future stars potentially. We are definite on at least one of them, we're definite on at least 2 of those stars. We've got Tiffany Stratton, which I think is a big score for them on for the women's side, because they don't really got much going on right now in the division, other than maybe the tag division. So now they got another good looking face for the roster in the division. So I mean, I think that's perfect for him, as well as Naomi, which I don't know, I think she's going by Naomi. I don't know if she's going by Tiffany or whatever her name is. But also, we saw Nick Aldis talking to Braun Breaker, but it looks like ultimately he's going to go to Raw, which makes sense, because I can see him feuding with Gunther. And he also talks to Jade Cargill, which she looked a little bit more interested in signing there, but who knows? She might go over and try to fight Rhea Ripley on Raw. We don't know. But the 2 big names that we know for sure is Tiffany Stratton and Naomi. And then obviously, like I said, we saw him talking to Braun and Jade. So PJ, what are you thinking about these names as far as the definite 2 names, and what are you thinking about the potential of him getting either Jade or Braun?
Talking about Nick Aldis?
Yep.
I mean, there's a lot of star power headed to SmackDown. I mean, either ways, if Braun Breaker goes to Monday Night Raw, I'm happy with it. I mean, they've got to evenly split these personalities. Imagine this: Charlotte Flair coming back to SmackDown and having a face-off with Jade Cargill. The internet's gonna blow up.
Yeah, that's why I wish Andrade would have stayed with or signed with SmackDown. He went to Raw so quickly. I was like, okay.
He did?
Yeah, I thought he signed
he
with
did.
I remember seeing him signing with fucking
SmackDown?
No,
Nick?
No, he signed with Raw, I thought.
Oh, with Raw.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he sure did, didn't he?
Yeah, which I thought it would have been cool to see him on SmackDown with his girl.
Well,
you know?
by the time Charlotte Flair comes back, I'm sure something's gonna flip. It's not like Charlotte's back there anyways, you know, all the time.
Nah, because they
It'll
showed
be all
her when he returned, like, I guess, like,
yeah,
getting him ready.
But regarding your comment about 3 future stars, I mean, I think it's just gonna even out. I just don't know what else to say. They are stars indeed. They've got a lot of star power, not because of their names, but who they are. You know, Jade Cargill. I mean, she came from AEW. She's had that undefeated streak over there, and not to mention, I mean, just an amazing debut she made in WWE. Braun Breaker, who is so fucking athletic, who's a nephew of what's his name? I always remember Scott Steiner, but Rick Steiner? Is it Rick?
Son, Scott Steiner's nephew.
Yeah, he's a beast. Okay, he might as well be the next Brock Lesnar. Okay, next topic.
Yeah, so the one thing I wanted to touch on, because I feel like we didn't really get to touch much on it in your discussion, because, you know, we kind of got sidetracked on other things with certain other people, and as well as when we did mention it, it only really was when we allowed Ross to do his speech and hype on Drew McIntyre. But and we touched on it earlier, so that's why I feel like this could be a really great discussion, is the real potential behind Drew McIntyre's heel turn. And you know, we saw him fight Sammy, and once again he used dirty tactics. They'll say he did it on accident, but they're setting up for him to be like, yeah, I'm a heel now, guys, I don't care. My dreams are broken again. Broken Dreams is gonna come back. We're all gonna be happy. But no, I think there's a lot of potential now with CM Punk's injury opening up the door for others. I think he like we said before, he's definitely gonna be the big one that is gonna be being affected by this. So I mean, you know, I presented in the stream in your discussion that I think that ultimately what WWE should do, if we're all being realistic, if you did a poll, who is liked as a heel right now, and if I just presenting this, Damian Priest and McIntyre, if they push McIntyre to the moon as a heel, put him in Judgment Day. Telling you, now he has no way to the main event. How do you do that? You have him steal the briefcase, and then the Judgment Day. I feel like the Judgment Day are gonna betray Damian Priest anyhow. But the point is here, there's so many possibilities for him to do bad things.
Is that how Finn Balor versus Damian Priest is gonna happen?
Maybe. I feel like that could happen. Yeah, that way. Because, like I said, that group would legitimize a Drew McIntyre completely. Him and Balor interacting, yeah, I feel like eventually it could become like what him and Priest were. But at first, for the main, I think it would be the first interaction of them. It could be like just, I ain't trying to make it no racial thing, but they'd be like, my brother, how's the mother? Oh, she's the, or whatever, or how's the, you know, whatever, because them, and then whatever, and then eventually you could maybe introduce Sheamus to the group, because from what I know, that his group is no more. His group is no more, so that would be kind of cool to have him, because it would be if you remember WWE 12, if Ross would here, he'd be getting excited. The United Kingdom, it could be the Judgment Day could turn into somewhat of a United Kingdom, because you got Dominic, you've got which I think eventually he's gonna get kicked out anyway.
Oh,
But you got
man.
Rhea, you got who's Australian. You've got you would have Drew, who's Scottish. You got Sheamus, who would be Irish, along with Finn Balor. So like that would be kind of cool. But what were you saying?
Yeah. I agree with you. I never thought of it this way, but you kind of made me like open up my eyes and think of it in the most weirdest direction. But yeah, everything that you said makes absolute sense. They are heading over to the Europe area, so they have to have. They don't have to have it, but having a cool European faction as like Judgment Day would be cool. Or having some sort of European faction that consists of your Finn Balor and the Sheamus, Drew McIntyre. I think that would totally make sense, and people will just fall right into it.
Exactly.
So I agree with you with every bit of it. What you said, I just never thought about that. But since you mentioned all those things, everything that you said makes sense, and I agree that they should go that route. 100%.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah,
that's the only thing I really never thought of it that way. So
the one thing I wanted to throw in there, but we didn't really talk about, is what this really means for if we see this go the direction we've seen this go for years with a guy like this, and the fact that he was even willing to insert himself in this match shows his ego. We haven't talked about this though, is the fact that what does this mean for not only Roman Reigns if we decide to allow The Rock go into WrestleMania and not only face Roman Reigns for the title main event, but for the championship. But not only Roman Reigns, but what does that mean for the entire roster, including Cody, including Seth, including whole SmackDown, because you go from Roman Reigns, who is, at least he's around your age as far as the roster, like he's gonna be, he's just chilling because he's just chilling. So like it's not like it's because he's old as shit. The Rock ain't gonna show up at all, because if he's champion, and he's already proven that when he was champion. So that being said, if you allow him to win at WrestleMania, what does that mean for everybody else?
The Rock's not winning at WrestleMania. If he is, he's gonna have to drop the title. The title becomes more part-time than the part-timer. Yeah. I mean, come on, man.
It's not out of the ordinary. Because if they try to be like, oh, WrestleMania Backlash in Saudi Arabia would be all over that. That's what I meant to say. Saudi Arabia. They would love The Rock going in a champion in the fucking Saudi.
So he would hold on to the title for up until that time and not wrestle. I just think that's a shit show waiting to happen, bro.
It would, but that's my point. It's after what was just displayed to us, it's not out of the ordinary for me.
He altered Lamar because he's truly not main eventing WrestleMania right now either.
Yes, he is.
Given the current state. World Heavyweight Championship after what even Roman Reigns said.
Let me ask you this
past SmackDown. Yes.
The women's winner last year was Rhea Ripley. Did she which show did she main event?
I think it was night 2, but it wasn't main event. Yeah, you're right about that.
Exactly. The point is here is all Cody Rhodes main eventing night 1, or if they even decide to give them night 2, he's still main eventing. That was gonna be the plot hole probably with CM Punk. Oh yeah, you get to main event, Punk, but we made 2 nights. And that's when they created 2 nights for WrestleMania, I knew that they were waiting for CM Punk to come back, because it's like, all right, then we could give CM Punk a main event spot at WrestleMania because there's 2 nights. You get the first one, and that doesn't count. So like, it's the greatest. It was mine, Paul Levesque. It was my invention because, I wanted to outsmart a guy like CM Punk. If there was another CM Punk to ever come here, we'll give him one a main event. All right, have night one. I don't care.
I think finishing the story, if that is the book, finishing the story, I think it ends with Cody Rhodes defeating Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. That is the perfect scenario, unless they do, for some odd reason, they have a premium live event in Madison Square Garden, which it would make sense because that's where his dad left his legacy, where he held the title briefly. I could be wrong though, but I think that would be a perfect place to end it.
Yeah.
Where he can capture the title there, unless it's done on it. I just don't see. Look, listen. I don't see why would it make sense The Rock to win the title.
It doesn't, but it doesn't
carry
make sense
it
for The Rock to come now. That's what I'm.
The only reason it makes sense is because it makes money, and it defeats the purpose to create a legacy. Because Roman Reigns drops the he doesn't carry on to break the legacy for Hulk Hogan's, because he's the number 3rd as the longest reigning WWE champion, right? And he wants to be able to break that. Is that what we're doing? Are we waiting until SummerSlam to do that in August of 2024?
I was gonna say, I'm gonna ask you this, because you said when you said this, you asked something, and then I thought you were gonna say this, but you didn't. When you said Cody said he wasn't specific on anything. What if Cody gets influenced by a certain somebody?
Who that is?
What if Cody gets influenced by a certain CM Punk? Hey, I didn't get hurt for you to fucking not finish your story, damn it. You better get in there and make that match a damn triple threat. Like, not like out of kayfabe, but I'm saying like literally he would be like, you gotta finish your story, man. There ain't no next year. You didn't throw me out of the ring and embarrass me just to take my spot. You're going, I'm taking Rollins out, like some shit like that. I don't know, like what if they do that? Could be a big swerve, like, yeah, no, Cody's not gonna give in. He's going for that fucking championship. And what if they can either have him win there, but that could even just be another Roman stacking 2 people moment for the legacy, like you're saying. That would be a big match. Cody, Rock, and Roman. It's out of the ordinary, but like I said, I feel like that could be still, like, you really think that they would fill in that gap and have him go fight Rollins, and
they
then
would
like
probably go for multiple matches more. They're not going for a match. They're wanting to do
Looper here, and
I have not.
The trailer for Sparking Zero.
No, man. It's been a very long time since I played a Dragon Ball game. This is actually one of the games that I might actually get. It's I've been out of the loop for all the Dragon Ball games since I don't know, like maybe PS2 days, PS3 days.
And that's why I'm saying you got to get in the loop on this one, man. This is one of our childhood. And if that's the case, if you got to play the Tenkaichi series, this is gonna be.
I did,
game, man. This is the it's supposed to be the 4th installment.
In PS4 days, I actually had a chance to play one Dragon Ball game, but it was like for a brief period of time. I think I was enjoying the game, but I don't know which game it was. But anyways, I might look into getting this game. When does the game gets released?
It's still kind of it's only on for wish list right now.
Development.
There's not a release date.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh wow. Yeah, the game looks great.
Yeah. So
it's kind of going to be like Budokai Tenkaichi.
Yeah, it's essentially supposed to be the 4th installment, but they're it's
calling it Sparking.
Yeah, and it's like it's essential because Sparking is what it is. Budokai Tenkaichi in Japanese.
I gotcha.
But they're calling it Sparking Zero, as in like, I guess a way to say like, all right, it's Dragon Ball Super.
First one in the series.
Yeah, because technically it's not, but it's the new age, so it's new age Dragon Ball. So like they're trying to say, you know, it's a new age Dragon
Because
Ball.
they're a newer engine,
Yeah,
new everything. Gotcha.
exactly.
Got
So
it. That makes sense.
it's definitely gonna be fire, and it's gonna be really nostalgic for people like you and I. If this is gonna be the fighting game that you and I, our style of fighting game. It's not gonna be a you know, Super Smash Bros that you say you don't like, or like which I still prefer those games, but like you know, a Mortal Kombat. It's gonna be like a more open fighting game, like if just remember literally BT3. But so far there was a leak you know, for Xbox saying that it's gonna be probably around like 77 gigabytes. It's not too bad. Probably be the most, probably 80 plus, with, you know, when you take into account updates and DLC, because they'll probably definitely end up having that. So yeah, but yeah, for this though,
I'm excited about it.
It's definitely something that you should keep your eyes on.
Yeah, keep me in the loop. Send me videos whenever you see something new.
Yeah,
I'm interested to check it out.
That link I sent you, the first tab, when you get a chance,
yeah, I'm on it.
Go and watch the Goku vs Vegeta Rivals. That's the most recent up-to-date trailer for the game, showcasing a lot of the gameplay, how it's gonna look. We're pretty close to release date. I think it's gonna come out either by the end of like yeah. I would be pretty hyped if it came out around on my birthday in April. That'd be heat. But yeah, no, it's definitely something that's to look out for. I'm getting, again, it's gonna be something I get on PC because I want to mod it. But I'd assume it'll be crossplay, but we'll see. Yet release. But yeah, so that leads into the next new Dragon Ball content. Are you familiar with the new Dragon Ball series coming out? Coming in late this fall.
We're talking about the follow-up to the Dragon Ball Super.
I assume Dragon Ball Daima.
Yeah, it's gotta be. I am aware. Yes, I am aware that they have been producing mangas and stuff. Yep. So it's going to be adapted into those, correct?
I assume so. It's
I'm assuming so.
It's essentially the premise is that they're all being turned into children for some reason by some demon, and going on adventure for the Dragon Balls. It seems like it could be something
of GT days.
Exactly. It could be something. And the animation style, it looks very nostalgic. I'm very excited for it. But right.
Did you get to watch the new movie that came out last year?
No, but I got to see a decent amount of it. I didn't get to watch all of it.
It is I don't smoke, I don't do DMT or anything, but people say a lot of shit about that type of movie, like saying like when you see the vivid colors,
because of how it's
fighting, the way it's animated, it is trippy as fuck.
Yeah, it's 3D. It's pretty heat. It's an interesting take on it.
Yeah, it is. There's so many colors. It's just absolutely wild and fun.
That's the look they're kind of trying to go for. It's a mix of the OG Dragon Ball style with that, and it's pretty cool. But right here, I was going. There's I got a few things that that just recently came up as far as content regarding the stuff on the Dragon Ball Daima, and right here is a letter by the man himself, Akira Toriyama, which I thought it'd be cool to read here. So hello, I'm Akira Toriyama. I'm currently working on a new Dragon Ball. The title is Dragon Ball Daima. Daima is a made-up term, which is Japanese characters would be, or in English would be something like evil. Due to conspiracy, Goku and his friends are turned small, or into children. In order to fix things, they'll head over to a new world. It's a grand adventure with the intense action in an unknown and a mysterious world. Since Goku has to make up for his petite size. He uses his power pole to fight, which I saw that in the trailer. Looks so heat again to see him using that. Something not seen in a long time. Exactly. I should have just read the rest. I came up with the story and settings as well as a lot of designs, and I'm actually putting in a lot more time than usual. Things will unfold that close in on the mysteries of the Dragon Ball world. Hope you enjoy the different from usual battles that are cute and powerful. So I'm expecting that it'll be a lot more hand-to-hand combat, which is something that the new generation likes to, which I hate that people, that's one thing they say they don't like about Dragon Ball. They hate that it's the same frame over and over, and they hate on our fights when literally it's old, man. But it holds up. But yeah, no, it looks like it's got some promise. So what are you thinking so far from just that letter from the man himself?
When the man himself tweets out, or when he posts a letter out to his fans, that should tell you that he is putting a very like a lot of effort into creating something that he has put a lot of love into this, series. I am definitely out of the game of like what Akira Toriyama has been doing, because all I do is just simply watch whenever stuff airs. Like if the Dragon Ball Super comes on Crunchyroll or whatever, I'm on it on the next day. That's what I used to do. But I am not looking up on the news and whatever they're doing, keeping up with stuff. But you can definitely tell that if he's posted out something like this, then
Daima is supposed to air in October of 2024. So assuming a 1-year time frame for animation, season 2 of Dragon Ball Super wouldn't air until 2026. Who cares about Dragon Ball Super? Daima seems to be a lot more interesting in this case. So I'm gonna link you here just to the official website, just so you can keep yourself in the loop. But yeah, any final thoughts as far as Daimao? And and since the thumbnail popped up, are you familiar with Kakarot? There's a new DLC for that game as well dropping. But
yeah, I haven't been keeping up with it, to be honest.
But yeah, no. But so yeah, final thoughts. You think the film will be, or not the film, but the series will be something you tune into?
I think so. 100%.
Cool.
The game and the series, of course. Series 100%. Game is more like 75%. I would have to see.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely look a lot more into Sparking Zero, because Sparking Zero is gonna be something.
Yeah, I have watched all the Dragon Ball movies and the series, so yeah, I'm well invested into it. But yeah, man, it's been a great time doing this with you. We're gonna have to do this again sometime, and
yeah, for sure.
I hope you join my discussion sometime. I'm hoping to do it tomorrow. If not, then maybe after Monday Night Raw, so it'll be like Tuesday night or so.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, for sure.
Alrighty. Well, it's been fun. Like I said, we're gonna have to catch up again.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming, man. The discussion was fun as hell. It was great to pick your brain and see how you thought about some of these things, and it's great having you here. PJ, if you want to say anything, sign off here.
All I'm gonna say is just thank you for having me. Thank you for having me, and you guys can always subscribe me on YouTube and follow me on Twitter. You can post my link.
It'll be in the description.
And that's pretty much it. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. This is the Dragon of the Night, Lamarjima out. Peace.
If your love is man, you will understand. If your love is man. you will understand. If your love is me, you will understand. If your love is me, you will understand.